Hello everybody, welcome to another mystical week with this week's podcast YouTube little chat show with me, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. Exciting things are happening. Now, this whole summer for me has been really productive, and I struggle usually when it's beautiful and hot in summer. I usually try and enjoy the summer months. I try to get a lot of my projects and work done normally throughout the winter up until about May, June, and then I feel like stepping back because I really want to enjoy the summer. This year we've had such a beautiful summer, but I have been doing so many things behind the scenes. I've got a new website that launches today, and just magically the 11th today is the day that Mercury comes out of retrograde. And also it's like a gold day. Things are aligning today for new beginnings. So I'm going to talk about new beginnings. I'm going to talk about your Feng Shui with new beginnings and how you can come out of that Mercury retrograde and get going with things, get things moving in a moment. But I just want to talk to you about everything that I've done, everything that I'm preparing ready for you for new terms and new learnings, which obviously all comes in with new beginnings. So I found myself this summer getting a really good balance of enjoying the sun, but also being able to really crack on with things. And honest to God, normally this would overwhelm me. This would make me feel like I'd be stuck a lot of the times because there'd be so much going on. Sometimes when you get overwhelmed, you just don't get anything done. But I honestly believe the Feng Shui that I've put into my home at the beginning of the year, all the remedies have been such a game changer, and the effects of that have helped me to really crack on with lots of things, but mostly maintain my health. Now, a lot of you know that I get tonsillitis a lot, and I do suffer from stress a lot because I normally take on too much, but not at the moment. It's been a while that I've been poorly, touch wood, and I just feel totally balanced, and I feel that my home is supporting me in that balance, and I've been able to do things that I've had on the back burner in my mind for years, and I'm talking back from lockdown. And it's what's really interesting is when I started to think about having a new website, it filled me with dread because my old website was so big, and I had plans for this course and this class, but I was so overwhelmed with it. It never really happened, and I would do odd bits. I spoke to my beautiful Gemma who helps me with my VA work and my admin work at the beginning of the year, and we started to plough through some videos that I wanted to create for my website, and these were including a new tarot e-course, which I knew I needed to redo because it was out of date, but it was a mammoth task. A numerology online course, astrology online course, so many different things. And I had a plan of, there was about 12, and I said to her, we're going to do recording of one each month. I'm going to take the year, by the time the end of the year done, that I can tick that all off. And these have been things I've been wanting to do for years. But going into a new website has allowed me not to necessarily do videos on everything, but create downloads on it. So that has been a game changer in itself, because I've been able to speed up, instead of having to do a million videos, creating all this new content for you for downloads. Oh my goodness, there is so much there. I've got things to do with the chakras lotus course, which is about inner deep healing and how the chakras connect to you for certain times in your life, but also what they mean, what it means when they're stuck, blocked, for your health, mental health, well-being, health, for all sorts really, and how you can help yourself move on from that. I've created meditations. I've done a whole new psychic development workbook. This is predominantly for my students who come to my Tuesday class, because when they start the new courses, the new people, rather than having to go over lots of new beginnings every single time, which we do touch on, but rather than having to go through protection and grounding and the chakras and the colours and the different clairs and the different the history, but also the different wavelengths, brain wavelengths. I've created it all into a big download, so I can just send it to them and they can read it at their own leisure. This will also be available for everybody as well, but it's free to the people that are on my course. Most of my downloads are going to be either free or £11, so they're not going to be a lot. There's odd ones that are a little bit more if there's a little bit more in depth at £22. There is numerology, there is angels, oracle cards, tarot, there is, oh my goodness, so many, crystal ball, pendulum, tea leaf reading, you name it, it's covered in this download. I've also done some separate Feng Shui ones on a map my home. So if you don't necessarily want a full analysis, but you just want help with getting the placements, because the placements are the right, you know, if you don't get that right, you've got it all wrong. So the 9 areas, and some homes that are perhaps built in a different shape to the general rectangle may have missing areas where you might need some mirrors put in there. So that helps if you've got an unusual shape there. There is also tips on Feng Shui, tips on tarot. There's so much, and it's all going live today. It will take me a couple of weeks to get the downloads all uploaded. I have also re-recorded and rewrote the Tarot e-course. Now, if you want to learn tarot, this is a breakdown of every single card, how the meaning of every card, but it comes with a new workbook that I've created, in-depth workbook, and it has placements for each individual card. It has places where you can write your findings, what I talk about, plus different spreads in there, lots of journaling. And this is a step-by-step guide to each individual card. Now, we touch on some different spreads within this, but it's predominantly to do with learning what the cards actually mean. Once you've got that foundation, then you can go on to start creating lots of different spreads and learning how to use it. I've also done a symbol download, so not just learning what the cards are, but what every single symbol means. For example, what the dog means in the Fool card, what the Sphinx means in the Wheel of Fortune, what the yellow boots mean here or there. So I've really created an in-depth file on how to know what the symbols mean. Now, if you do the tarot e-course, then you can join my Tarot Groupies group, and that is a free group where we meet once a month. I do a Zoom where you get a chance to answer, have your questions answered that you might have come up with in the course, or just general questions that you'll get a bit stuck with, perhaps with tarot there. We've got live Q&A, and it's very interactive, the group. That group is also open to my tarot groupies. However, some of them may not have done the full tarot course, so it's easier if you've done the full tarot course. With the tarot course in mind, and it's all in my new branding, which I'm super excited, and my tarot card, my Astro tarot cards are also in my new brand colours, or the packaging is there, and I've reworded a lot of the information in the booklet, so that's going to come out in September. Now, with the tarot course in mind, quite a few people say, I want to learn the tarot, but I don't really want to do it online. The reason I did it online is because everyone's like, yes, we want to do it. And then as soon as you put the date out there or ask for the money, they're like, oh, I can't afford it this month, can't do that date. So I ended up from going from 50 people down to 4 people for a 10-week course. So that's why I created exactly the same course on as an e-course, so you can download it, you can do it in your own time, at your own leisure. Once you've got it, you've got it. But I am going to do, and it's probably going to be in October, a tarot workshop, and it will be over 1.5 days. So it's going to be a Saturday afternoon and a Sunday, and it will be a brief covering of that, a very condensed covering of learning the tarot. If I have lots of people that are interested in doing a full 10-week one, and I would need 10 people minimum, it's £177, but it may go on a little bit of an offer, and that will be on a Monday evening, usually from about 6:30 till 8, and that will be again starting in October if there's enough interest in it. So I should put the feelers out, and it's 10 weeks, but if not, we'll stick to the e-course and this little mini workshop. I have got Feng Shui teachings on there as well of what just tips there. Now the tips are great for starting, the tips are great for dipping your toe in. There's lots of information that you can do to just start the vibe, but some homes, some people's lives, mine was one of them, really needed that extra oomph to be able to support. And honestly, I've not been stressed. I've had this amazing balance this year where I've been able to feel that I can enjoy the sun. There's nothing worse than when it's a beautiful sunny day and you're sat indoors typing, or when you're enjoying the sun and then your mind's like, oh, I should be doing that, I should be doing that. So I know that the Feng Shui that I've applied has absolutely game changed that, as well as having amazing opportunities that have come, myself and the boys this year. Amazing opportunities that have come through. So it really is an 11/11's just come up. It really is a game changer to have your home fully analysed there. Takes me a couple of weeks to do. It's £333 for a remote one, £444 if you want me to come out, plus travel. It takes a couple of weeks for me to do, and then we stay in contact for a few months because there's certain things that need a little bit of tweaking. So we work quite closely together. There's lots of questions. I need a floor plan, I need square footage, I need when the house was built, the year the house was built, and you get a full report, big report, as well as lots of different tips there as well. And this working together allows me to make sure that you've got the remedies correctly in place, but sometimes there's a bit of a tweak. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of a tweak. Here is my money area, southeast area, and my remedies is fire this year. Now I noticed some point in the year it was the money was coming in, but I was getting stressed with it. So I know I had to move out this orange splashback. It's a bit random. You don't have to have that many random things. The rest of the house, apart from maybe some bricks, you wouldn't even know. But I just moved that slightly out the way so it wasn't on show, and that stress energy reduced, completely reduced. And then a few months later, I noticed that there were some other financial changes. So intuitively, I need to bring it back in. So I've now brought it back in. So there are little tweaks that we do intuitively and with the experience that I have, where I know that perhaps you might have too much of this, or maybe you need a little bit more of this from what we've got in the report. And that's why I like to work with people for a few months afterwards to make sure that it's working for you, because it's a lot of money that you've got to pay. So we need to make sure that your investment is worth it. And working with me for those several months after really helps that there. And I'm not going to go anyway, even after a few months. If you get stuck, 6-7 months down the line, I'm still going to be there to help you. You'll also get a free 2026 upgrade. Every year in February, you will need a new remedy list. Now, you don't have to have the whole analysis for that. All you need is just the new remedies. And that is £55 a year. But your first year you get free once you've booked it. So if you're booking it now, you're going to get the rest of this year, plus you're going to get next year's as well within that. So bargain. Other things that I've been working on is the meditations, bringing some meditations where people again can listen to those on downloads or recordings, and a new book. I'm not going to talk too much about the new book because I want it to be a bit more of a surprise, but it's very exciting, and it's from a hopefully a publisher that has already shown some interest. So I'm super excited about that. So working my nuts off, literally in the background, creating this new website has been amazing. The team have been absolutely amazing. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. I can't wait to start sharing it. But it will go live today. And so if you go on to www.katemay.co.uk, you will see the new website and the new bookings. And things are going to be easier because a lot of people could only book by PayPal before. This time you can use your bank details if you want to pay there. There's an easier calendar for people that are from abroad, so you'll be able to see, if you're watching, wanting to book from abroad, you'll be able to see the calendar, which you couldn't do before. And it's just a smarter version of it all there. So really excited. But there will be some more things added, some more resources added and downloads added as the time goes on there. I want to say about a date for your diary, the 7th of September. We have a huge Mind, Body, Spirit fair in Bournemouth at the Hamworthy Club. We did one last year and it was so good, so successful. We said we're going to do one every year. So we're doing it this year. And we have the beautiful Melinda Messenger as one of the speakers. So I'm going to sneeze. That's me. I'm going to do it again. No. So she will be there answering some questions on well-being and talking about her ideas on, she does psychology and well-being, and it's just going to be a really interesting talk. We've got some other fabulous talks. Of course, I'll be there doing a talk as well on Feng Shui. Loads of different stall holders, about 40 different stall holders. It's a huge hall. It's just a magical day. So September the 7th, save the date for that. I think it's £3 entrance, and that will include all the talks and workshops. Also, we have our psychic cruise, don't forget. So we're coming into the last part. We have sold out of certain rooms, so there's the next level of rooms available. That's on the 29th of September. You can go to www.psychiccruise.co.uk. All the information is on there. The itinerary has just gone out, so that's exciting to see that shaping up, and that's for a week in Bruges and Hamburg there, 29th of September to the 5th of October, I believe, around there. So still some exciting things coming up. So Mercury Retrograde has going direct today, the 11th of August. We've had a big weekend with Lionsgate and with the new moon, full moon in Aquarius. And I did read a few things where people were like poo-pooing some astrologers, saying actually Lionsgate isn't real. Lionsgate, it doesn't align with Orion's about the sun in Leo and Sirius. There seems to be a bit of a mythical, magical concept around that. However, there's no disagreement that consciously when a gathering comes together in alignment and starts doing positive things, that it does have an effect. So if nothing else, just people gathering in their minds, in their spaces, coming together and activating some manifestations definitely isn't going to hurt regardless. But the 8th of the 8th still will be a magical time, because the 8 is, in numerology, it is the number of success, financial abundance, prosperity. So when you have 8 of the 8, that's still going to bring in manifestations of prosperity. So it's still very magical, even on a numerology number, even if some astrologers don't really align with it. And with the Mercury going direct today, it's about moving forward. And I've had today's date, because Mercury comes out of retrograde, as the date that I wanted to launch my website, before I even realised that it is a bit of a goldmine date in new beginnings, setting tasks or getting things finalised today and doing new things. And that's what I wanted to talk about to you, about doing new things. So this is the week to get things going for new opportunities. And Mercury retrograde, although we're still in the shadow side for a good week there, so still be a little bit careful, don't go all out. Like I'm not going all out. There still needs to be a few checks. Mercury retrograde is fabulous. It gets a bad name, but it's fabulous for going back over things, double checking things before they're sent off, finalising detail, and having a bit of a second chance really to go over things. And this could be in any area of your life, depending on, it's in Leo, so depending on where it's been in Leo in your chart, depending on where Mercury sits, it really is depending on what area that it comes into. But it's great for contracts, going back over things. But now we're coming into the direct phase. We're starting to break free from that double checking, and we're going to be able to start move forward. So people that might not have been able to sell their houses, going to be able to start to see things move forward a bit more. People that have been waiting on jobs. I know a lot of clients have been waiting. And it seems to be a bit of a breakthrough week this week. So tarot cards that you can use absolutely on your altars or in the east area of your home with Feng Shui, because the east represents new beginnings. Ace of Swords, clarity, focus and breakthrough. This is going to be an excellent card to use on either area. This is going to help you with that breakthrough energy that you've been perhaps going through some cloudy times, just not knowing, or been feeling a bit stuck. This is the card that we're going to know now. Literally the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, the planet expansion, the planet of luck, but also it's the card of movement, going from one stage to another. It's an action card though, so it indicates we want to take some action. So it's going to encourage you to do the things that you want to do, not to be just procrastinating and stuck. This is going to start to move you forward and help that luck form on your side. And Mercury actually rules the lovers in the tarot. It also rules the Magician, and I didn't grab the Magician, so I'm just going to find that. But Mercury in the lovers, it's because of the Gemini connection. It's all to do with communication. So looking at ways that you can communicate with others this week will be really important. Perhaps signing deals, getting deals done with others, or forming stronger bonds in relationships. But it's all to do with your communication and speaking clearly, honestly, openly, literally putting your cards on the table. Now, in the Magician card with Mercury, the Mercury energy then moves up to your intellect, because Mercury rules also your mind. And in the Magician, it's about knowing that you've got all the tools to do the job, manifesting things, here we are, manifesting things as above, so below. And being able to create that magic and using your intellect from that Mercury to communicate what it is you want to do and to make things happen. So these are some fabulous cards that you can put in the east area, which represents new beginnings, or in the on your altars there, with perhaps a clear quartz, because that's going to help you with your focus and with clarity there. Other little things I would really suggest for your Feng Shui this week is, because we've got that lovely new energy that's coming in, is to have a declutter. This will be the week to really tie up some loose ends and declutter, and it's the first stages of Feng Shui. Tidy mind, tidy home. So just have a look around, and if your home is too much, just start with one room. If you want to, in a minute on my new website, you'll be able to get the 9 area map, and that is a free download to find out where you've got the 9 areas. So if there's a particular area in your home, perhaps it's love, you might want to look at the southwest first, perhaps it's money, the southeast. There's a particular area in your home that you want to focus on first, that map's going to help you. But you may know already anyway. And we use compass direction, so I use what's called flying stars. So there's lots of different Feng Shui ways of doing things, but I use flying stars, and that's done by working out compass directions. And it means that it's not so general, it means that it's specific to you, therefore it has a bit more power than the ones you get off the internet when it's very generalised there. So yeah, start with the room or where you want to declutter. Getting rid of things that no longer serve you is quite a big game changer anyway. Sometimes, we've said it before, those things do hold grief, those things do hold memories. So you may want to just take photos if you don't want to get rid of them completely. You might want to store them somewhere out the way with a lid until you're ready, like a process of moving on. But ultimately, the best thing is to try and move things out that no longer serve you. If there's photos of things that when you look at it, it reminds you of a sad time, don't want that energy. Perhaps you've got, I did a reading for somebody. It was interesting. It was a couple of weeks ago, and she said she was over a relationship, said she'd moved on from her boyfriend, but couldn't get a new boyfriend. And I looked at her cards and I was like, the energy of the old one is still around you. Do you have any of his stuff in the home? And she had either one box or one item that she was preparing to get rid of. And I said, send him a message out of courtesy. I've got this item here. You've got 4 days to come and get it. If you don't get it within that time, it's going. So at least you've done kind of the right thing there, because if you just throw it away, it's going to be in the back of your mind. Is he going to come up for it? Am I going to be get into trouble for getting rid of it there? And that creates, you know, another vibration. So I suggested that she just did that. And which she said, yes, that's fine, that's easy. But she was like, I am over him. And then I was like, do you have any photos of him on your phone? Any like holiday photos? And she just kind of looked and was like, uh-huh. I was like, you need to delete them. And you could see, she's like, I didn't want to delete them. And she said, I can't delete them. So she thought she was over him, but actually she wasn't. So I said, what you could do is print them off again, put them into a album, and have it, you know, titled something like, you know, X holidays or the year, whatever it was there. But if you're having photos of friends that you don't chat to anymore, that you don't like, partners that you don't like, family that you don't like, anything that you don't like on your phone, think of that energy. Your phone we carry around with us all the time. So your phone would be a really good time now to declutter. But because we're just in the tail of Mercury retrograde, we're still in the shadow side of it. Be sure what it is that you want to delete. You know, you can double delete, so you can delete and then you can go back and double delete when you're definitely sure. But holding on to photos that have got past memories of situations that you don't want anymore is really important, because your phone's memory, is your energy. And once you could delete that, the freedom that you feel. So if you can't get round to doing your home, go to your phone and look at what's outdated. Clear some of that storage. Also, storage is bad for the cloud and bad for the environment. So if nothing else, do it for the environment. And then, you know, you could move that into, is there things in your bag? Is there things in your purse? Is there old receipts? Is there old bills? Do you have an old bill that was like maybe out of date? That's going to really affect your abundance and money coming in if you've got that block there. And it will tell you if you're really over someone or if you need to do a little bit more work on that, for sure there. I'm pretty good at, you know, even on Facebook, I've got some old photos of friends that I'm not favourable with anymore, I don't like anymore. And I did start going around deleting them. There's so many of them though. And in the end, I thought, I can't even be bothered to waste my time going through them on Facebook. But I did delete everything that I had on my phone straight away. And I had at the time lots of friends' photos of nights out and days out. I got rid of them. Didn't want their memory at all. It's in your soul memory. Can't help that, and there's lessons to be learnt from that. So you don't want to erase that, because you've learnt something. Your soul has learnt something there, but you certainly don't need to be carrying that energy forward. So as we enter this new beginning phase, and interestingly, it's not for another 2 weeks, but we're moving into the new moon in Virgo. Virgo is about getting organised. Virgo it's that time of year when September, we're kind of done with the summer, we're ready to get into a routine, we're ready to get organised. A lot of children go back to school, so they could be ready, your homes could be ready of getting like the new school uniform in, getting into a new routine with the school after the fun of the sun. It's a time of year where it's kind of like a reset anyway. Always been like a new year for me, or second new year for me, September. And it just hand in hand goes in line with Virgo, which is decluttering, organising. So we can start to move into this energy now and prepare to have this lovely new beginning. Certainly the East area in Feng Shui, that represents new beginnings and affirmations and things that you want to have new. You could put that in the East. You could activate that with little bells, music, singing bowls. Crystals will activate it. Obviously the tarot cards as well, or help to activate it. And set that intention for it, definitely. But just have a think about what you've got around you, whether it fills you with joy. And I've said so many times, it's that's our purpose. It's that's going to bring alignment to us. It's that's going to make us feel balanced and healthy and happy, is when we're in alignment, when we're doing things that our soul is ready for. And having pictures or old bills, receipts or memories on our phone or in our home that don't bring us joy is going to block that energy flow. Just as I leave you there, I am going to pull a couple of cards there. And I just want to thank everybody who does watch this, who shares this, and everybody who has supported over the years, but also for all these new transitions that I've been going through. And most definitely our little Tuesday group, which is grown so big. We are actually having to move to a new venue just across the road. So really supportive of that. I literally could put on a second night. I have such a big waiting list. Could put on a second night. Not going to put on a second night because I know I need to get that balance. I will probably do a little bit more when it comes to October. I want to get the cruise out the way, get this big fair out the way. By then my website and everything will be all set up and ready. So October, as we start to move into, for me, the winter time, that's certainly when I do hibernate a little bit more. I've got some people who watch from Australia. You're going to be coming into your spring as I'll be quieting down, but there will be some more teaching and trainings going on there. There is definitely going to be a online psychic development. I don't know if it's going to be 10 or 6 week yet, but there will be an online psychic development course that's coming up again in October. And from September, I will be opening the doors. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but it will be some kind of mystic groupies. And in that, in September, it's £22 a month, unless you're one of my already groupies, where you'll get it discounted. And that is we're going to be looking at the new moon, the full moon, meditations, a different Feng Shui area every month, different tarot cards every month, crystals. We're going to be looking at so much. So in that group is going to be, it's not quite psychic development, but there certainly will be development, but more on a personal level, using lots of different modalities there, and the energy of the astrological alignment for that month and the Feng Shui for that month. One other thing I wanted to say, and I've forgotten it now, that I was putting on. What was that? Was it to do with Feng Shui? Oh, I can't remember now. I don't know what it was. It will come back to me if it's important. But once all of these are up, live and ready, they will be in my tarot group, in my main group, Kate May Modern Day Mystic on Facebook. So join that, or keep an eye on my Instagram stories. If you're not on Facebook, keep an eye on Instagram stories. And my newsletter. It will obviously be going on my newsletter, and you can sign up to that on my website there. So have a beautiful week, everybody. Let's have a little collective tarot read. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I have started on YouTube the tarot files. The Feng Shui files will come out soon, and I've gone through a couple of bits of tarot learning, and in those tarot files, there's all sorts covered. So again, if you're looking to learn tarot, then look at the tarot files on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Kate May Modern Day Mystic. Okay, let's have a look. If there's anything that you wish me to talk about in future for next week, please do let me know. I will be away next week. It was going to be this week, but where I was going, they're in hospital still, so it's going to be next week. Wednesday night on SPTV channel, on Facebook and TikTok, I am live at 6:30 doing an hour's Feng Shui Q&A. So if you want the link, just let me know, or keep an eye in my group because it will be shared live on that. Right, okay, collective reading today for your week. Until we meet again, it's the Justice card. Oh, by the way, your monthly ones are up on YouTube as well. I've been busy, for August is up. Justice card, accountability, the truth, dipping your toe into something new. And the truth. And there might be some important documents. There could be some important contracts that you're dealing with this week. You may get things that need to get signed off, so important paperwork I would say pay attention to. This is a balance card. It's ruled by Libra, which is all about harmony and all about balance, the Justice card. But it's about your truth, being accountable. So if you said you're going to do something, then do it. If you said that you're going to be, you're wanting this lifestyle or you're wanting that lifestyle, are you doing it? Are you being accountable? Are you living the life that you want to be living? Because you can change that, you know, you can be accountable and acknowledge things that you want to let go and acknowledge things that you want to bring in. So start talking the talk is what I'm going to say with the Justice card here. If you've been doing something that's slightly dodgy or something that you know wasn't quite fair, hold your hand up. You'll be dealt with in a much easier way. If this card isn't necessarily about rights and wrongs and you getting justice, this card is universal justice. So the right thing will be done for the universe, and this is where we have to give it over and trust. But on a personal level, take accountability, speak your truth, get the balance there, and look at what important details or important documents need to get in order there. There is a very strong spiritual aspect to this card, and it's about new development, starting new things, signing up to new things, just dipping your toe in the water and your third eye just starting to get a bit itchy that it wants to learn more. So hopefully I'll have something for you on my website or in one of the courses that we can help with that. Time is coming for you to learn. Have a magical week, everybody, and I will see you next Monday. Take care.